So it's time to remove the bucket from your subcompact tractor. How do you go about it? Well, stick with me and I'll show you how in this episode. Let's jump into this together. Welcome to this episode of Subcompact Tractor Projects. In this project, we're going to take the front bucket off the LS MT125. Now, depending upon the subcompact you have, most of these work the same. So to do that, the first thing we do is we have these pads on each side, and there's a pin that holds them up. And so what we'll do is we'll raise the bucket and lower these. And then what we'll do from that point, once these are lowered, we'll bring the bucket back down. And then what we have are these pins on each side, which will pull out. Now, to pull these out, we have to relieve the pressure. So as we bring the bucket down, we'll curl the bucket, relieving the pressure off these, and then we'll be able to pull the pins out. After the pins are pulled out and the mechanism is detached from the tractor, we will then turn the power off and then disconnect these couplers here and then put the caps back on them. And at that point, we're basically done. So let's go ahead, let's jump into this, let's actually do this. Okay, so we've extended this leg. One of the things to note about this leg is it is spring loaded. So you have to unlock it, pull this down, as you see this clip up here. So this actually clips in there, and you can see this is oblong. So by pulling that out, it releases it from the clip and allows it to swing down. Now you can see we have it placed in this lower position, and as you can see here how we have the clip put back in. So now this side's ready to lower, so now what we need to do is go do the other side. Okay, so the reverse side is down. Again, we placed it down just like the other side, removed the pin, rotated the pin from here to here, popped the clip here, so as we mentioned before, spring is released and it was able to lower the feet. So now what we'll actually do is lower the bucket down and allow this to engage until we can loosen the tension on these pins. Right now the weight of the actual bucket itself is holding these on, so we'll need to get this down so the weight's lifted off by curling the bucket. Okay, as you see here, I've got the pins out. So as you saw in the previous clip, I curled the bucket down, which lifted up back here, and I was able to pull the pins out right here. So the pins are now removed. So now this is technically detached from the tractor. So now what we want to do is just kind of release the pressure from into the hoses by working the valve over here. Now what we should be able to do is basically remove the quick couplers down here and then cover them up and then back away from the blade itself or bucket. Okay, so I have the couplers disconnected. Now I didn't videotape myself doing it because I basically needed two hands to kind of reach in there and do things. So I want to talk about a couple tips. So it might be hard to get some of these off because there might be some sand or other material on the top of these. So if you try rotating the coupler like this first before lifting off helps. The other thing is, before you stick this plug in there, make sure you take a rag and clean it off, because again, they just hang there and get dirty. You do not want to get any dirt inside this coupler. This is a high pressure coupler. So what I'm going to do, you see I haven't put the couplers on there, or the covers on the couplers. I need to clean those out, but I'm going to back the tractor away first, and so I can get at those more easily. One of the other pieces I want to note, when you go to roll the bucket back to release the pressure on the pins, after you get the pins out, you have to roll it back a little bit more to lift it out of this cradle where it rests. So if you only take the pin out, it's likely still going to be resting in this cradle. So you have to, again, curl the bucket a little bit more till it lifts up out of here. Then as you saw, then you can back out away from it. So now what I'll do is I'll clean these up, put these caps on, and then I can go ahead and begin my service procedure for the LS MT125. So again, the reverse kind of works the same for putting the bucket back on. Is you come into it, again you hook up your hydraulics, you reverse curl the bucket, bucket drops back down, you put your pins in, and you're good to go. So pretty simple to take the bucket on and off these subcompact tractors, which really makes it neat. So again, hopefully you found it interesting. If you did, give it a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe down there. And we'll catch you in the next video where we do another cool tractor project. Cheers.